is one trial that we're witnessing today. And I just want you to visualize this, Uthman. Did you just notice there is less than 110 people on this scene? They just dropped dead. There is just one incident yesterday, 2 days ago, in Al-Hula. 110 people were killed. 50 of them were children. 50 of them are children, like your brothers, like your sisters, like the kids that's in your neighborhood, the kids that you see them when you drop your kids to the Islamic schools, the kids that you see them outside, maybe the kids that are just right next to you. They just dropped dead. You know where I got this idea from? Because today I was watching middle school kids in Barcelona, not the Muslim community of this country or that place, in Barcelona. They went to the Barcelona International Airport and they gathered 110 kids in the middle of the airport, inside the airport. They took a permission to make a message, and they all dropped dead in front of everybody traveling that day. It is sad that there is even people who don't share with those people in Syria that tie of Islam and the same religion, that they can make their message loud and in the public place like this, while so many of us not even aware of what's happening. It is sad that there are so many Muslims. In the beginning, you will see so many people making dua, qunut in the salat and in each salat. Now rarely to find a masjid continuously making dua al-qunut in Maghrib, Isha, Fajr, Dhuhr. Why? Did we give up on Allah? Or the situation changed? What is it? Or we just don't care? What's the reason? When you look at what's happening today in Syria and the amount of people on a daily basis dying, just unbelievable. There is pictures, I cannot even put it up here because they are very, very disturbing images. When you see kids 2 years old slaughtered with a knife from their throat, what is this? What is this? If this is not going to move our heart, what is going to move our heart? And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, "La khayra fikum in fasada ahl al-Sham." There is no good in you if corruption is spread in Sham. What is more corruption than this? What can be more corruption than this? I just don't know. It is a sad reality. I'm not asking us all to just weep like and we cry over it. Yes, wallahi, we should tear. Wallahi, we should cry. But cry while we're making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because I know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala listening to us. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is aware of what's happening. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us, وَقَدْ مَكَرُوا مَكْرَهُمْ وَعِنْدَ اللَّهِ مَكْرُهُمْ. When I read this verse, I said, Ya Allah, their makr, their plotting, it's in your hand. You see it. You're aware of it. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to see what we're going to do. What will change in our life. What's happening in Syria is not really about changing the Syrian regime, about the Alawi Ba'thi regime. It's about what will change in our life. This young boy that you saw been beaten to prostrate to Bashar al-Assad's picture, there is another young boy other than this one. Teenager boy, young man, 18 maybe years, something like that. He was beating to make sujood, to prostrate to Bashar's picture. And he refused. When he was brought back to the jail, his excuse the word, I'm going to use it, he really doesn't deserve this word, but he used to be a punk kid. That's what he used to be. Just picked up from the street because he went outside asking for one simple right, which freedom. The brothers told him, by the way, Islamically, you can make sujood to the picture of Bashar al-Assad. He said, no, I wouldn't do that. They said, why? He said, because I never made sujood in my life. I never prayed in my whole entire life. And it will not be the first sujood I do in my life to the picture of Bashar al-Assad. It has to be for Allah. My first sujood has to be for Allah. And they said, this man now call the adhan for every salat. What you see happening in Syria today, it's about changing the people. Changing the people of Syria and the people across the world. Especially us, Ahlul Islam. It's about changing our attitude. Changing that we live while we know that I'm connected to that part of the world. And it's this bleeding over there, it is something affecting me over here as well. My brothers and sisters, there's so many things we can do as a Muslim community. And one of the things which is we never underestimated, the power of dua. There is a very famous dictator family, it's called Baramika. Just to make the story short, one day a person entered to the jail and saw the only one, he's one of the uncles, the only one left from this extremely powerful family. Very corrupt. They entered into the cell and they saw him very old. He'd been for ages in this cell. They told him, what's wrong with you? How's your life? He said, life? قال ما أنا لا من الأحياء ولا من الأموات. I'm not a dead and I'm not alive. He said, what happened? You used to be very powerful, very rich. He remembered one day there is an old man. He said, ظلمناه. We oppressed him, we abused him. And he raised his hand to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and he made dua. He said, دعوة مظلوم ظلمناه غفلنا عنها وما نسيها الله. We didn't pay much attention to it, but Allah never forget it. ولا تحسبن الله غافلا عما يعمل الظالمون. Don't ever think Allah is not aware of what's happening. But He gave us the opportunity to change ourselves. One of the things that we can do, we may raise awareness. If these kids in Barcelona can do that in the airport, what you have done, what we have done as a community, to make awareness in the whole world, in the whole community about what's happening today. Did we ever requested maybe a protest? Maybe a rally? We take the permission for it so we can make an awareness among those millions of people that comes every month or so to our city. اللهم إني أسألك يا ذا الجلال والإكرام أن تجمع شمل المستضعفين وأن تقوي بأسهم وأن ترحم ضعفهم وأن تغفر لموتاهم وتشافي جرحاهم وأن تنصر ضعيفهم يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. اللهم اشف صدور قوم مؤمنين. اللهم اشف صدور قوم مؤمنين. اللهم انتقم يا منتقم للمساكين والضعفاء واليتامى والأرامل والمشردين. اللهم يا حي يا قيوم أعن كل من أعانهم وسدد كل من سددهم يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. وصل اللهم وسلم على نبينا محمد وآله وصحبه والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.